Hey everybody, welcome to Local Business Hacks Podcast. I'm your host, Carl Case, and I'm on a mission to help you. Every week, we're going to be talking to local business owners and experts to get their best tips, tricks, and hacks to grow your business. This show is designed to teach you, inspire you, and motivate you to take massive action and start to build your future-proof business. Whether you're just starting off or you're taking your existing business to the next level, this episode is for you. So let's get started. Hey, local business hackers. I'm your host, Carl Case, head of business development for Referrizer, joined today by Jackie Futrell, national director of studio performance for BODYBAR Pilates. Jackie, welcome to Local Business Hacks.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Of course. You have quite an interesting title and a really cool brand behind you. How did you get to this point in your career?
Well, I actually started my career unconventionally and not linear, probably like most people. I actually started teaching 6th and 7th grade English with Teach for America, so totally different realm than fitness. But I slowly fell in love with health and fitness during my time as a teacher. I really used it as an outlet. And so like every 20-year-old, I picked up a side hustle. So I started teaching Pilates on the side. That slowly became a studio lead role, which slowly became a headquarters role. And then finally, I just made the full-time jump into the fitness space. And I haven't looked back since.
Amazing. And what brands did you start your fitness career with? Was this with a big box gym? Were you always in boutique fitness? Talk to me a little bit about those journeys.
Yeah, so I actually started with Solid Core back in DC when they were first getting up and running. Now they're an incredible brand with 80-something studios. So I was fortunate enough to work with them at the start of my career and really learn a lot about a growing brand. From there, I worked with a franchisee from F45 and I helped him grow his studios, open 2 more studios, which was really exciting. And lastly, I most recently worked for Barry's, which has been an incredible opportunity. Their culture is just really amazing there, but I'm really happy to be with BODYBAR now.
Amazing. Congratulations on that journey and getting to where you are today. For people that haven't heard of BODYBAR, tell me about the brand. How can people get involved? Give me some juice.
For sure. So we are an emerging brand in the Pilates space. We take your traditional Pilates and we put a modern twist on it, making it super fun, energetic, and different style classes for different individuals. We have slow-paced relaxation style classes where you're really going to focus on your core and the moves and slow things down. Or we have our reformer class, which is going to be that high intensity, high pace, but still low impact and good for the body. We currently have 14 locations open nationwide, and we are rapidly expanding.
And how can people get involved with the brand?
For sure. So you can go to bodybarpilates.com, check out any of our 14 locations. We have 7 in the DFW. Or if you're interested in joining us in the Pilates franchising space, we also are continuing to grow and many territories are still available.
Amazing. And Jackie, my last question when it comes to BODYBAR, what differentiates outside of the workout BODYBAR from all these other emerging Pilates brands that we see globally?
What makes us really different is we obviously have beautiful studios. That's the number one feedback we get from people who enter our studios. The beautiful, clean, crisp, bright. We also have state-of-the-art equipment. Such nice. We have the Allegro 2s from Balance Body, as well as a chair. So we can really make things diverse in our classes. But when it comes down to what's really different, it's our workout and our community. We offer 7 different formats, like I was just describing previously. So you can work out, you can take the class every day and not get bored. It's not going to be the same routine. You can take a classic, you can take a power tower, you can take a reformer, you can really challenge yourself and then do a jump or chair class. So the diversity and the programming is what really sets us apart. And then our community, we really strive to create community in our studios. One where people feel like it's their third space. We always like to refer to it as like your cheers, kind of going on the branding of BODYBAR.
Love that. Amazing. So Transitioning, our podcast is called Local Business Hacks, and we empower individuals all over the world, no matter where they are in owning their business strategy, to utilize these hacks from people like you. So I welcome you to share one of the hacks that you've learned over these years that you've been able to implement today, maybe in your career, or something that you're continually teaching others.
For sure. My business hack is invest in a quality business intelligence tool and actually use it. So kind of twofold there. Oftentimes in this industry, I think we are led by very passionate leaders who are sometimes founders or people who don't necessarily have a business background. It's a lot of passion in this industry. So using a tool that's going to help give us the data is going to bring so much value to our businesses. Taking things from like this gut instincts to really relying on the data to support our gut instincts. Companies who invest in these tools, I see two issues with them. One, they don't know what these KPIs mean or how to leverage them in their business. So finding a partner who will not only build the tool you want, but also teach you how to effectively use it in your business. Two, oftentimes I find that a lot of brands don't have the time for their staff who make these operational decisions to actually dive into the data. The tool we partner with allows us to have instantaneous data to help drive performance in our studios. For example, one of the tools or reports I use tracks our lead funnel and each stage of the lead funnel. So I'm able to really dive in and see where are our leads falling off for this specific location. Is that a trend just for this location, or is that a trend for our whole network? From there, I'm able to dig in and really diagnose with that studio what's keeping them from performing in that segment. So for example, recently I looked at a studio and they had phenomenal lead to class booking ratios, like phenomenal. However, their conversion remained fairly low. So this led me to kind of ask the questions, what's the in-studio experience like? Are we creating an experience that's making people want to come back? Are our sales associates trained enough? Are our instructors executing the way they should be? Where are we falling short in this funnel? And by getting the answers to those questions, I can help direct the studio managers or the owners to take action that will help alleviate that and then ultimately increase their conversion.
It's amazing how much data can tell us about what's going well or what's going wrong with a studio, especially when we have visibility across the whole brand, isn't it?
Exactly. And I think it's important to not just to settle for an out-of-the-box BI tool, because every business is different. Every business calculates conversion different, or first-timers different. And so I think it's really important that you partner with somebody who's going to be able to provide those insights that work well with your company.
Yeah, I love that. One place that Referrizer shines in the lead automation side is we focus on conversions into memberships, where a lot of marketing partners, it seems like their conversion could be based off of a text message being opened, an email being opened, somebody getting on the phone with someone. But at the end of the day, conversion in most boutique fitness studios, in my opinion, should be based off of sales and residual sales that we're going to see over a 9-month or 12-month agreement. Out of curiosity, how does BODYBAR measure conversions today?
Yeah, I think that's super interesting that you speak to that. A lot of studios also count conversion based on return rate, which also doesn't indicate future return on investment or anything like that. We actually count conversion as membership sales as well. I think there's actually a huge shift in the market coming that membership sales are the way to go. I think the consumer is moving a lot away from wanting to do class packs or single things. People want routine, they want community. And so I think that's definitely where we're seeing things move.
Awesome. Jackie, out of curiosity, what do you consider phenomenal numbers when you look at lead to trialist or lead to member conversion that you guys strive for as goals inside of your studio?
For sure. In terms of lead to just getting them in, 80% is phenomenal. I think something more than realistic is about 50%, and then converting about 50% of those. Also, depending on the area, in urban centers, you're going to have a more transient population. You're going to have more people moving, more competition, more people who do multiple things than a suburban market where people are looking for one thing and they're going to stick to it.
Of course. One thing that I'm going to stop talking about my experience after this, but one thing that I've realized is the importance of the quality of the lead and where it originates from. And that's a metric that we've been looking at now over 3 years of historical data measuring that. And it's quite a difference when you have a member that comes in through Google versus arbitrarily convincing them through social that they need to come in and try this free class or try this free 7 days for $7 or whatever it may be, versus that client and member that finds you. We've seen members stay 3 to 6 times longer and refer new friends to the business when they're actually coming across you and you're solving the problem that they're looking for, which is awesome.
I think the referral piece that you mentioned too is so powerful that we don't give it enough attention. Everyone's like, oh yeah, you run a referral campaign or you do a referral bonus. A lot of brands I know don't do any referral bonus, and it goes back to that community. If you're creating community in your studios, you're creating evangelists for your brand who are going out and telling 5 to 10 people about your brand, their experience, how great this place is, and they're selling it for you. That's free marketing.
And it builds on the culture that everybody's really trying to create inside of their studio, which is a vibrant crew of accountability partners everywhere around you that want you to thrive and survive and crush your goals.
Exactly. And it starts way before that client even enters the room. It's based on with your staff. Are you training people to greet people by name? If you have 14 machines in your room and it's a membership-based model, you should know who that new face is when they come in.
I agree. Jackie, what's one thing that you've implemented in your role at BODYBAR over the last year that you've been there that has really accelerated either the visibility of the company or directly impacted the growth of the organization, either from a membership level or franchise level, you name it?
Definitely. So going back to kind of what I just spoke to, before I came on in May, the company wasn't really in a position to support franchisees after they were opened and be that thought partner to help talk them through these different hurdles or metrics and help coach them and learn about their business in that sense. So since I've come in, I've been able to kind of categorize our studios based on like top performing, middle tier, lower performing, and help provide different level of support, whether that's one-on-one coaching, whether that's studio visits. And then in addition to that, we also added multiple opportunities for studio managers to collaborate, which I think is really unique to being an emerging brand versus a brand with 2,000 studios, is that we are able to offer opportunities virtually for our studios to collaborate, talk about their issues. Something we did leading up to January was get all of our studio managers together and really break down the first timer experience and learn from each of these studios kind of what works best for them. And so whether a studio manager walks away from that meeting with one tip or trick or looking at something differently or trying something new or even a contact now to reach out and learn more, it's definitely worth the value.
And building that community inside of your own community that a lot of brands, I don't think, take advantage of.
Exactly. I mean, I've been on that franchisee kind of level working with one owner, and it's hard to make your staff feel connected to that larger brand. And the more you can do, the more retention there is within that.
And I could preach about retention from both the employee and the membership side all day. And that comes from your recruitment styles and how you're really attracting your members in the start. But we could talk about that on a second version of the podcast. Jackie, I guess I'm going to leave you with one last opportunity to share a story that, really impacted a studio that you got to be hands-on with. What was the issue that they were having? How did you solve that?
So I've been now with BODYBAR since May. And so I've been able to see a few, and I've been able to see exactly kind of what happens during those first 4 to 6 weeks, whether that's mentally or whether what needs to happen in terms of outreach, marketing, engagement, all those things. So I'm in the midst of helping create a plan to make sure our studios are successful in those first 4 to 6 weeks after a stellar pre-sale. I think a lot of the momentum and the drive kind of drops off right after you open because you're no longer offering those founding rates. And so helping them kind of keep that trajectory moving up at a higher rate has been really exciting.
That's awesome. Setting people up for success and continuing that success.
Exactly. And it's been really exciting because working in such an emerging brand, we're opening 2 more studios next week. And so being able to see so many studios open so close together, I'm really able to see the trends. Like, oh my gosh, this same thing happened 1, 2, and 3 studios. We need to provide X resource, or we need to provide X support while making it scalable.
Amazing. And you're in the position to do that, which is even more exciting.
Definitely. Every day remains so interesting.
Awesome, Jackie. Well, thank you from us over here at Referrizer and from our listeners all over the globe for sharing your story and talking about BODYBAR, giving your tips and tricks on how to maximize the opportunities in this space.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks, Jackie. Thank you so much. That's it for this week's episode. I hope you found it helpful. Be sure to head over to our site, local-business-hacks.com, to check out the show notes and send me questions or ideas for future episodes. If you want to grow your business, just like the people you've heard from here, follow Local Business Hacks Podcast and tune in for new tips, tricks, and tactics. Until next time, thanks for listening and keep hacking.